And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Motormaster Monday. We are live here for round 20 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. We're here at WWT Gateway, folks, Gateway Raceway for round 20. And we have 22 drivers from the NASCAR MotorMaster Series out there logging laps in stage 1, 22 drivers. You heard it right. And it's a 1 mile and a quarter oval course. It's much like a Dover in terms of length, but it's very flat, very challenging, many different grooves that you can run here, similar to Iowa in that sense. I'm NOSSCAR CEO, and alongside two in-race reporters, Cameron Norton and Alex Tesdahl, bringing you live flag-to-flag coverage of the Fire Key 200 here at Gateway.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, thanks a bunch for being here, and we're going to get started on running things through the field just a little bit for the viewers. We're going to catch up on a couple of things. Josh Colvia is in the 7 leading the way, and it's Landshark in the 36 car running in second, with Dustin Franklin in the 11 and third. Jesse Carlson, in the 20 Toyota Supra runs in fourth. Jordan Roughton in the 18 in fifth, and Matt Smith in the 10 in sixth. Flashing in seventh, Brett Baker in eighth. Jason Doro in ninth. Rounding out the top 10 is Cameron Norton. And everybody is still on the lead lap with a shot to win this one. They're bouncing off each other, battling for second and third right there. It was Jesse Carlson, Landshark, and Dustin Franklin. They were 3 wide a moment ago. Now they're 3 wide again, but this time with Matt Smith in the 10, 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion right there in the thick of things. More contact made. Still 3 and 4 wide. This is through 1 and 2. And working their way down the back straightaway now. All of this fierce battling inside the top 5 is allowing Josh Colombiez in the 7 to pull away. He's been very excited about this race all season long. And we're going to keep our eye on the battle for second on back. Jesse Carlson doing a masterful job pulling off a really big pack of hungry, fast drivers there. There you see Landshark in the 36. Closing in on the 20 a little bit now, and big problems there for Dustin Franklin in the 11. He went up and found the outside wall that was in turn 1. It allowed Cameron Norton in the 1, Brett Baker in the 21, Jason Doro in the 08 to get around them for position. This is all happening inside the top 10. There's Trey Hollywood driving the 8 car. Just behind Robbie Racing in the 4, and just in front of Nick DeFrancesco in the 6. He got a little bit loose coming out of turn 4 and had to grab a handful of steering wheel, and he held on to it. There's Jeffrey Robinson Jr., former NASCAR champion on NASCAR 15. He's outside the top 10 right now, and outside the top 15 even. All these drivers pretty much still on the same straightaway as each other. Nobody in danger of going a lap down early in this one, and everyone maintaining a very similar pace out there. Everyone seems to have a competitive car and has a shot to get a good finish in this one.
Another caution.
You're right, and we have a caution on the racetrack. Second caution of the race for an on-track incident. I didn't see what happened deeper in the field. It looks like Bradley Gittleland in the 90 has a little bit of damage to the left side of that Chevy Camaro. He very well could have been involved in something that brought out this yellow. Either way, this is going to rack everybody up double file for a restart, and there's not very many laps to go in this one. Let's throw it down to the in-race reporter, Alex Tesdahl. Alex, how many laps to go in stage 1?
Honestly, I'm not sure. Cam, do you know?
Shouldn't be too many. I know we were working like lap 13 or something. Let's see right here.
Here they come to the restart zone, and they're only going to have 3 laps to go, I believe, in stage 1. The green flag is back in the air as they thunder into turn 1, 2 by 2. Josh Colombiez, Jesse Carlson lead them into turn 1. Brett Baker, Jason Doro, Cameron Norton there. Now they're 3 wide. Jesse Carlson got bounced up into the outside wall a little bit, and Brett Baker was able to take the second position away. Josh Colombiez has the lead.
Yellow.
And the caution is out here, and that's going to, is that going to end stage 1?
Yes, it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and wow, that is... and now this could open the door for some strategy maybe here, because these drivers were just on pit road, and we could see some of them maybe stay out to get track position for the beginning of stage 2. We'll have to see. Let's throw it down to the in-race reporter Cameron Norton to get the top 5 from stage 1.
It'll be NASCAR King, Brett Baker, Oof, me, and Mucka.
All right, then. How about Josh Colm-Diaz? That 7 car. He seems to be the class of the field so far, but then again, we haven't seen a whole lot of racing quite yet. Stage 1, a very short stage here at Gateway. In fact, stage 1 is a 19-lap stage. These drivers are working 34 laps in a fuel run, so we're not expecting anybody to come to pit road under green if it runs green to the end. And time will tell if Josh in the 7 has the car to beat here tonight. The green flag is back in the air. Matt Smith and Jordan Roughton lead them to turn 1. The pit strategy was involved. And to the lead goes the 10 car, Matt Smith. Three different teams up there in the top 3. Many different lines being used here at Gateway. And down the front straightaway now, working stage 2. It's round 20 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. And up the hill went Nick Francesco in that bright red number 6 Chevy Camaro. He's going to get a big run coming out of the corner because of that. But he lost some ground in the corner. He's got Robbie Racing in the Ford, looking to the inside. Part-time driver from Great Britain. Clashing just behind him in the 5th spot in the 07. There you see him popping into the frame. The pole sitter is Jesse Carlson, and he's already worked his way all the way back up inside of the top 10 after making a pit stop at the end of stage 1. It's good action all over this racetrack and good battles here too. They're 3 wide yet again. Cameron Norton, Trey Hollywood, Jesse Carlson. So they go into turn 3 and they're all going to get through there. 3 wide just in front of them as well. That's for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Robbie Racing, Jordan Roughton, and Josh Colm-Diaz. They all sorted to back out. And it seems like track position is key at this racetrack, and it's very easy for these drivers to get side by side, 2 by 2, 3 by 3, and battling for position. And that we've seen a bit of a pattern here. We've seen the leader be able to drive away a couple of different times. Right now, the leader is the 10 of Matt Smith, and Josh Colm-Diaz, who won stage 1, has already worked his way all the way back into the 3rd position. Working to the inside now of Robbie Racing in the 4th. Watching the battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th here, the 7, the 4, and the 6. Just behind them is the 20 and 5th, the lime green and orange Toyota. All of these positions really changing every corner, every lap. And we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter Cameron Norton to find out how many laps to go, stage 2.
We have 14 laps to go.
14 to go here still. Cameron running inside the top 10, and he's in a 3 wide battle there with Landshark in the 36, Jason Doro in the 08. They sort it back out. Dustin Franklin in the 11, Alex Tesdall in the 16, just behind them. And I'll tell you, good battles all over this racetrack. There's Trey Hollywood, Jeffrey Robinson Jr., and Harold Burden. They're not too far behind them either. And all of these drivers still on the lead lap with a shot to win. Pilot P200 here at Gateway, and 22 drivers started this race. Right now, they're all chasing the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, Matt Smith, and we're going to keep our eye on the battle just a little bit behind them here for the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th positions. Josh in the 7 has taken 2nd, Clashing in the 07 Chevy Camaro runs in 3rd. He was just in 6th position a couple of laps ago, so Clashing really coming to life here in stage 2. Nick Francesco has worked his way into 4th. Robbie Racing, who had worked his way all the way up into 2nd in that lime green and black number 4 Chevy Camaro, Now finds himself in 5th, just in front of the pole sitter, Jesse Carlson. Jordan Routon in 7th. Landshark, the newcomer, runs in 8th, having another solid run. Brings a good car to every track, it seems, every MotorMaster Monday. Good battle here for position. Jason Armstrong trying to hold off. Timmy Brown in the 9. Ryan Schreck in the 19 is right there with him as well. This is just a little bit outside of the top 15. Well, the laps are winding down here in stage 2. A couple of cars have now spread themselves out and spaced themselves from the Hornet's Nest, which seems to be the battle for about 4th or 5th on back. And Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 is beginning to reel in Matt Smith just a little bit here, lap after lap. Clashin has also gotten single file here from the group, and he runs in 3rd, starting to log his quickest laps of the race as well. And we got our eye right now on Clashin. The driver of the 07 car came in late here to the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Had a close finish and finished in the runner-up spot for the Brickyard 200 last Monday for the NASCAR MotorMaster Series, and came that close to capturing his first win in a very early career for him here in NASCAR. Right now running inside the top 5. He's going to lose 3rd to Nick Francesco in the 6th, and Jesse Carlson works his way around him for 4th, and it looks like iRacing might have squeezed Clashin into the outside wall coming out of turn 4. Landshark had nowhere to go. He ran into the back of the 07. That allowed Jordan Routon and Jason Doro to get around both of those cars to pick up 2 positions. The 90 of Bradley Gilliland is running in the 10th position, gaining ground on these drivers. Cameron Norton up in the 9th. And this is what the battle for the lead looks like, folks. Really shrunk between these two. I had it, and I lost it, and there we go. There's Matt Smith in the 10, trying to hold off Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. How many laps here left in stage 2, and we saw Josh in the 7 win stage 1. He's been excited about this race all season long. It's one of these tracks that he performs very well at. And he's closing in. Going to throw it down to the M-Race reporter, Alex Tesdahl, to find out how many laps to go in stage 2.
Just took 6 to go.
And you heard it from the driver from the 16. Chevy Camaro, 2 wins this season for Alex, coming at Bristol and Dover, locked into the playoffs, and 6 laps to go. The leader's now heading into 3, so when Matt Smith comes out of turn 4, he'll have 5 laps to go when he comes down the front straightaway and hits the start-finish line. And the gap between he and Josh in the 7 is now beginning to grow once again. Getting a report a couple of laps ago, Josh in the 7 found the outside wall coming out of turn 4, and it's really slowed his momentum up that he had in catching Matt Smith before the end of stage 2. So we're going to check in with the battle for 2nd and 3rd if we can. Excuse me, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, rather. And they're working through 3 and 4, so 4 laps to go when they come around to the line. And there's a good look at the pole sitter, Jesse Carlson. 5th pole of the season for him, and 1 more, and he would tie the record for most poles in a single season here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. Right behind the 4 car of iRacing, just in front of them is Nick Francesco in the 6. Oh, Nick in the red car there you see him. He went up high coming out of 2, and he's going to lose a couple of positions out of this, and he drops back to the 5th position. plenty of success here in 2021 for Nick in the NASCAR Tailgate Truck Series season. 5 wins so far, and he is the current points leader on Tuesdays. Winless here, though, so far for Motormaster Mondays in these Xfinity cars, so he's really looking to change that, and Gateway is one of these tracks that he's very good at, and came in with high hopes, currently scored in 5th, just in front of Jason Doro in the 08 Chevy Camaro. He's drawing a bit of a beat on him a little bit, and Landshark in the 36 is running in 7th, just a couple of car lengths behind as well. And I believe that we have 2 laps to go rather, in stage 2.
I'm about to lose the 10 spot. But loose.
Through 3 and 4 goes the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith in the 10. He's got 3 wins this season here in the MotorMaster Series in these Xfinity cars, and looking to make it 4, and he's looking to get a stage win as well. The white flag is in the air. The next time by, we will see the green and white checkered flag to signal the end of stage 2. And unless anything changes, or unless anything happens here rather in the last half lap, Matt is going to come around and claim another stage win. Josh in the 7 car, who won stage 1, is going to finish in 2nd, and it's going to be a war for 3rd on back, but here he comes, folks. Matt Smith claims another green and white checkered. And the battle to the line, it's going to be Robbie Racing claiming the 3rd spot, Jesse Carlson claiming 4th, Nick Francesco claiming 5th, Landshark 6th, Jason Doro in 7th. They both came close to getting stage points. It is the top 5 drivers who get the stage points. Stage winner, of course, getting that valuable playoff point, and another one of those goes to Matt Smith. And now this is where things get interesting, folks, because stage 2 we just saw go green all the way to the end, and stage 1 we saw 2 cautions, so we don't really know what the final stage is going to bring us, but we do know that if it goes green the entire distance, we are going to need these drivers to come down pit road for green flag pit stops. So it opens the door for strategy, and it opens the door for mistakes as well by these drivers. So this could really shake up the running order as the race goes along. The final stage is going to answer all of our questions here for the Fire Key 200 at Gateway. And here they come. Down the front straightaway to see the green flag. And it's not up yet, and there it is. Green flag is back in the air. Final stage time at Gateway.
Oh.
Big
shake up on that side lane.
Oh, 3 and 4 wide. Whoa, Jesse Carlson went up and found the outside wall in the 20 car. There's others trying to get around him, and they're still trying to navigate their way around this track in heavy traffic since the drop of the green flag for the restart. Nick Francesco in the 6 car went up the hill, and he's going to lose a number of positions outside the top 5 now. And here's what the battle for the lead looks like. Wasting no time, Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 looks to the inside of Matt Smith in the 10. And he's going to do it. He's going to take the lead. Robbie Racing in the 4 trying to go with him. And he clears them. Kind of looked like Matt in the 10 was looking for the bottom line, and then gave up on that for now. Lets the 7 clear him and go by, and that's what the top 3 look like. Landshark in the 36 car running 4th. Jason Doro running 5th. It's side-by-side battle for 6th between Brett Baker and Jesse Carlson, with Cameron Norton running right behind him in 8th. Nick Francesco runs in 9th, and then it's Alex Tesdall running in 10th, just to give you a bit of an idea on where your favorite drivers might be running. Dustin Franklin 11th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. 12th, Jason Armstrong 13th. 22 drivers started this race, and every car is still on the lead lap with a chance to win the Fire Key 200 here at Gateway. And they're all chasing Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7. And they're heading for turn 1 now. And Matt Smith in the 10 car having to play a little bit of defense while he's trying to get a good run for the lead, and that's not an easy thing to do. He had Landshark in the 36 all over the back bumper while he was trying to set himself up to get a good run down the back straightaway to challenge for the lead at Josh Colm-Diaz. But now Robbie Racing in the 4 goes up the hill. That allows Landshark to clear him, and now he's going to be side by side with the 08 machine. Never mind, Jason's going to actually tuck in line and hold on to the 5th position for now. The top 5 have broken away from the rest of the field just a little bit. And to the inside goes Matt Smith in the 10. He was looking for the lead there. The crossover move. Oh, Josh was looking for that crossover move, looking for the lead down the back straightaway. Now he dived to the bottom, looking for the inside line in turns 3 and 4. A little bit of contact was made coming out of 4 now. Josh is going to take the lead. And this allowed Landshark in the 36 and Robbie Racing in the 4 to close the gap. Oh, and hearing from our 2 in-race reporters, Alex Tesdall, Cameron Norton, both in the top 10, that we have a caution on the racetrack for the 3rd time in this race for an on-track incident. We didn't see what happened. We were kind of keeping our eye on the battle for the lead. We gave our viewers a rundown on the running order for the top 13 at the time, and I believe that it might have involved Ryan Schreck in the 19. As you can see, a ton of damage to the front end of that Toyota Supra, and driving for Juicy J Motorsports. Won a race last year to clinch a spot into the playoffs and was hoping to repeat and find the same magic here in 2021. So far, it's not been the case, though he has had some good runs, finishing in the top 10 a couple of times. We're under caution here at Gateway.
Strategy.
Yes, sir. And I was just about to touch on that. We're going to have to find out from one of our in-race reporters what lap we're on or how many to go. But the green flag is back in the air at the final stage.
40 to go.
40 laps to go in this race. We do believe we're still going to see green flag pit stops in this one if we stay green the entire distance. But there was definitely strategy deployed. The running order does look a lot different, and Cameron Norton is your new leader. He's got a teammate right there running in 2nd, and another teammate right there running in 3rd. Oh, they bounced off each other just a little bit coming out of turn 4. We're going to keep it pointed in the right direction. Josh in the 7 led that lap and heading into turn 1 now. Oh, up the hill, all 3 of those cars went. They're 3 wide for the lead here at Gateway, with Jason Doro in the 08 with a front row seat for this battle right in front of him, and Matt Smith in the 10 has joined the party. To the point goes Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 car, looking for his first win of the season. Cameron Norton in the 1, running in the 3rd position, looking for his first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. Right there with a good chance.
On older tires.
Oh, contact made between Jordan Roughton and Jason Armstrong. Armstrong went up and found the outside wall. He's going to lose a couple of positions because of that. And you got to believe Armstrong's not too pleased. Long-time NASCAR driver, started with us back on NASCAR Heat 2. He has wins in the NASCAR Truck Series and looking for his first win here in the MotorMaster Series. Battles all over this racetrack. Don't even know where to begin at times. 22 drivers on the racetrack at Gateway. Not easy to call, folks. Josh in the 7 leads the way. Landshark in the 36 runs right behind him in 2nd, challenging him for the lead every lap, every corner. And Matt Smith runs in 3rd. Keep your eye on Brett Baker in the 21.
Oh.
Yep, and around goes the 20 car of Jesse Carlson. I saw it happen.
As well, and
Big wreck.
Big wreck on the front straightaway here, and I would say about 8 cars involved. Timmy Brown, Trey Hollywood, Ryan Schreck, Jason Armstrong, Bradley Gilliland, Harold Burden, Robbie Racing. And the caution comes out for the 4th time in this race for an on-track incident. More strategy will be developing in this final stage. And it kind of got started when Jesse Carlson, in the 20, the lime green and orange Toyota Supra, he got his left sides down onto the rumble strip, maybe even onto the grass. We would have to check it again. He went around right in front of a big group of cars, and when they came out of that corner, they were they were kind of all stacked up and discombobulated at that point, and they weren't taking the corner the way that they wanted to at that point. Some were 2, 3 wide, and before we knew it, we had a 7 or 8 car pileup on the front straightaway. And we'll rack them up and try again. Josh Colm-Diaz, Matt Smith lead them to the line. The green flag is back in the air. Final stage for the Fire Key 200.
Right on the money.
Just a little over 30 laps to go. It's round 20 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted here on NASCAR Heat 5. We've been doing this for 4 calendar years, ever since NASCAR Heat 2. And we're watching Josh Colm-Diaz, Land Shark, Jason Doro, Brett Baker, Matt Smith, Dustin Franklin, Clashin, Cameron Norton lead the field. And around goes Land Shark. And a tough break for the driver of the 36. Started deep in the field. He was running in the top 5 when I was giving everybody a bit of a rundown for the leaderboard, and he's now dropped outside of the top 15, spinning coming out of turn 4. He's got it going again.
Contact off too.
Doesn't look like there was too much damage done, but he's lost a lot of track position, and you're right. More contact has been made. Timmy Brown in the 9, Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in the 61. Looked like Bradley Gilliland in the 90. They were involved in that one. Action all over this racetrack. They're all chasing Matt Smith in the 10. And there's his team. Excuse me, no, they're chasing the 7 car of Josh Colm-Diaz.
He's pulling away again.
He's doing great.
Fast.
Let's throw it down to the in-race reporter, Cameron Norton. Cameron, you're driving the 1. You've led laps in this race. You've been running in the top 10 for most of this one. You're running in the top 10 right now. What's been the biggest challenge for you?
Just getting the car to roll through the corners and just checking up whenever it's needed. Just basically run your own race right now, honestly, and just trying to come up with strategy like I did there whenever the caution came out. So we'll see what happens. See if it'll get me to victory lane.
Throwing it down to the other in-race reporter, Alex Tesdall, driver of the number 16 Chevy Camaro. Alex, do you think we're going to go green to the finish?
It's honestly hard to say because we've had long runs and short runs, so honestly anything could happen.
I'm in the same boat. Both of you, great answers, and thanks a bunch again for being the in-race reporters for the Fire Key 200 here at Gateway. It's been a pleasure to call the action.
If it stays green, it might come down the field.
Right. I'm right on the dot too, so.
It's like right down to the last lap.
I wonder if the tires are going to make it, and I wonder if these leaders are taking any of this into consideration. I don't think Josh Colm-Diaz is. The 7 car is flying, and he's leading. I don't think that there's much fuel saving going on for Josh Colm-Diaz. And you have 2 former champions. 2 former champions running in the 2nd and 3rd positions. Matt Smith, the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion, running in 2nd. Brett Baker, former NASCAR champion from NASCAR 15, he runs in 3rd. Matt's teammate Dustin Franklin in the 11 has worked his way into 4th, and it's the one thing I really like about these NASCAR races. You see a lot of different drivers, a lot of different cars in the top 10 throughout these races. It's never the same 10 to 12 cars that are often up there in the top 10 or the top 12 battling for this. There's different drivers, new faces coming up there challenging for the lead every race, and sometimes they break out and get a new best finish out of the deal, and who knows what we're going to see here tonight. We're keeping our eye on drivers like Brett Baker in the 21, Dustin Franklin in the 11, Clashin in the 07, Trey Hollywood in the 8 car. They're looking for their first wins, and they're up there in the top 10.
We just had someone like have an engine failure.
Yeah, you're right. Clashin in the 07 car, right when we were talking about him, is now out of this race and done for the day. Having a tough time finding him here, but yeah, he is done, folks. There you see him parked on pit road and motionless, and that's a shame. He had a shot to win this one.
Good battle there for the top 5.
Good battles all over the racetrack, but you're right, we're tuning into the battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's Trey Hollywood in the 8, Jason Doro in the 08, and Cameron Norton in the 1. They run 5th, 6th, and 7th on the racetrack, and they're still within striking distance of the race leader. They have a little bit of a gap between themselves and the group of cars that are running behind them. A little bit of a cushion for these drivers. And it's going to be a good points day for all three of these drivers if they can hold on.
I really do think it's going to come down to who uses their tires and who doesn't.
Yeah, the more the laps unwind here, the more answers or questions are going to be answered here. They're all chasing Josh in the 7. There looks to be no conserving of the tires or the fuel for the leader, and I don't know, I don't blame him, because what if we see a yellow, and then at least he drove his car to the limits and kept the lead and kept that track position. I don't know. Time will tell here. He's looking for his first NASCAR MotorMaster Series win of the 2021 calendar year. He's got 2 truck wins so far this year. Winless in these Xfinity cars on MotorMaster Mondays, but he's looking strong here at Gateway. He won Stage 1. He qualified 2nd for this race, finished 2nd in Stage 2. He's led the most laps. He's got 2 former champions running in 2nd and 3rd. And out of all the drivers running inside the top 10, 4 of them are looking for their first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win. So if a caution does come out and these drivers get really close together and lined up for another restart, who knows what could happen. Gonna throw it down to Cameron Norton. How many laps to go in the final stage?
21.
They're
in on the top 5.
Yeah, they're clicking off quick here, and we're still keeping our eye on the battle for the top 5 positions. It's Jason Doro in the 08 car running in 4th, just in front of these drivers. It's Dustin Franklin in 5th, Cameron Norton in the 1 running in 6th. They had Trey Hollywood in the 8 car right there with them, but since then they've been able to drive away from Trey just a little bit, and Jesse Carlson is running in the 8th position in the 20 car just behind him. And I could be wrong here, but I think that Matt Smith has turned up the wick a little bit. He's starting to reel in Josh a little bit for the race lead. Oh, I think that Matt found the outside wall coming out of turn 4 a little bit there, so I think that Matt Smith is pushing as hard as he can to run down Josh Colton-Diaz in, pardon me, in the 7.
Oh.
Whoa! And an incident there involving Dustin Franklin and Cameron Norton, and they both were able to keep it pointed in the right direction out of that, and going to throw it down to the Embrace reporter, Cameron Norton. Cameron, what happened there? We missed it.
We both got loose, and we just saved it, and I'm right on his bumper.
Oh yeah, we're watching. I think it's saved by both of yous there.
And inside.
And this is the battle for 9th and 10th here. Jordan Roughton in the 18, Nick Don Francesco in the 6. Both of these drivers were up there running in the top 5 at one point. Still battling inside the top 10. And, whoa, Jordan in the 18 went way up the hill, and that's going to allow Nick Don Francesco to get around him.
I think I've had the better long run car. I'm starting to catch 4th. We'll have to shorten things for me.
Updating you on the rest of the field, Dustin Franklin running in, Dustin McClintock rather, running in 11th, Robbie Racing running in 12th, Harold Burden in 13th, Alex Tesdall in 14th. Jeffrey Robinson Jr. in 15th. Sean Lucas is in 16th, and Jason Armstrong is in 17th. Give you a bit of an idea on where your favorite drivers are running. It is a 22-car field. It's easy to lose them out there. They're all chasing...
There's a new leader.
Oh, you're right. They're all chasing Matt Smith in the 10 car. We have a lead change at Gateway, and I do believe that Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 might have lost control, because now he's actually under fire from Brett Baker in the 21. And a moment ago, Josh had about a 7 or 8 car length advantage over the 10. So, to see if he can recover. Scheduled green flag pit stops are beginning. I believe that it's... I can't quite tell who it is, actually. Oh, it's Dustin McClintock in the 0 car, the first to come to pit road. He was running in 11th when he decided to do that. Under 15 laps to go. And some of these drivers might be close on fuel and maybe even tires, and we're keeping our eye on the race leaders to see exactly how far they're able to go. And you gotta wonder who can make it the distance. And could it be the night where somebody gets their first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win based on a strategy and getting the fuel and the tires to make it the distance?
Well, I'm currently 1 good on fuel, but tires might be close.
I'm right on the dot. My tires are going to be questionable.
Matt Smith taking a really high line there through 1 and 2 that time by. There you see the white car, Dustin McClintock. He's merging back onto the racetrack. Brett Baker is actually closing in a little bit on Matt Smith in the 10, and I'm not sure, maybe Matt is saving a little bit at this point now that he's taken the lead, and maybe just thinking he doesn't need to push too hard. The battle for second is on. Josh Colm-Diaz trying desperately to get around Brett Baker, and let's see if we can tune into that battle. Doro runs in 4th. Cameron Norton runs in 5th. The 2 drivers looking for their first career NASCAR MotorMaster Series win are running in 2nd and 5th. Keeping our eye on Brett Baker and keeping our eye on Cameron Norton. And we're coming up on Ryan Schreck to put him 1 lap down, but we're going to throw it down to the in-race reporter Alex Tesdall to find out how many laps to go in this race.
11 to go.
Oh, and into the grass goes Nick Donfrancesco in the 6th car. He's going to hold on to it. This is inside the top 10, and we have 11 laps to go.
10 when the leader takes the line.
And they're coming up to it. Here he comes down the front straightaway. There's a ton of lap traffic that Matt Smith is dealing with right now, and 10 laps to go at Gateway. He's coming up on Ryan Schreck in the 19, but then Dustin McClintock in the white 0 car, the Chevy Camaro there. He's gaining ground on him because he's got fresher tires. There you see Ryan Schreck pulls to the inside and lets the leader go. Whoa! And I didn't think that Josh in the 7 car was going to make that turn. I think that he misjudged it, or he locked the brakes up. He almost went right up the hill and into the outside wall. He's still running in 3rd, but man, that looked dangerous.
Sounds like he's driving it pretty hard.
Oh, he is, I do believe. Yes, they're all trying to run down Matt Smith in the 10. Brett Baker still right in front of Josh in the 2nd position. They have Dustin McClintock in between the leader and the driver in 2nd. It's the 10 car leading. The white and red 21 in 2nd. Josh Colm-Diaz, the 7 car, white and red car as well, running in 3rd. Every now and then you see the white and blue Chevy Camaro pop into the frame behind these guys. That's Jason Doro running in 4th. Cameron Norton in the white, red, and yellow number 1 Chevy Camaro. There you see him, he runs in 5th.
My tire light just came on. It's going to be real close.
Oh yeah, these drivers are stressing about the grip level that they have nearing the end of this race. coming around to see 8 laps to go, I believe, for the race leader, Matt Smith. The question becomes, can he make it the distance? We've seen a total of 4 cautions for on-track incidents in this race, and 2 of those were in stage 1. We saw stage 2 go green, and then in the final stage we had 2 quick ones at the beginning, and it's really opened the door for some strategy here, and it's going to be interesting to see who can make it to the distance on their tires and fuel. This could even be the reason why we saw Josh Colm-Diaz in the 7 begin to fade a little bit here. He might have been trying to save his stuff a little bit. We'll have to see if it pays off. 7 laps to go at Gateway.
6.
Ah, thank you. They click off quick, and yeah, I'm famous for losing track of laps here during these races. 6 laps to go. 5.5 actually.
It's gonna be close. I'm like really trying to save it. Jesse Carlson's coming. I don't know where he'd come from, but he came.
You may have to let him go if you want to make it.
Here they come at a 4. Minor contact. Brett Baker and the outside wall. And 5 laps to go. Brett Baker trying everything he can to run down the 10 car. And if he can do it, it would be his first career NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series win. The 7 car running in 3rd. Josh, he's looking for his first win of the 2021 season. And of course, Cameron Norton running in 5th, looking for his first ever NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series as well. And evidently, Josh Colm-Diaz could not make it the distance on his fuel or his tires. He is coming to pit road in the 7 car, and he gives up the 3rd position in the process. It gives 3rd to Jason Doro. It gives 4th to Cameron Norton, and 5th to Jesse Carlson. Wow, that does sting, I bet, for him, and because we've only got less than 4 laps to go, I believe, in this race, so he was close. The question is, who else is going to make it? Not in the 10 car is driving the corners really different. He's letting the car ride up towards the wall, and it doesn't look like he's trying to put too much wheel into it and try to stress the tires out any more than he has to. Either that, or he might be driving it in hard and letting the car coast around through most of the corner to try to save fuel. I'm really not too sure. But what I do know is that Brett Baker in the 21 is closing in on the back bumper of your race leader. Oh, and no, he's not. Brett Baker is going to come to pit road. He could not make it the distance on the fuel and tires that he had. Jason Doro is going to take over 2nd. Jesse Carlson's going to take over 3rd. Cameron Norton's going to take over 4th. 2 laps to go.
I'm going to try to make it. It's on 3%.
Oh,
I'm really
geez.
slowing down.
2 to go. I think I can do it. So. Think I saved enough tire?
2%. I don't know.
If you blow a tire, please don't freak out, guys. I got a broadcast to do. I can't. Jesus.
Oh no, I won't. But I think I can make it.
The white flag is in the air, folks. Brett Baker coming off of pit road in the 21. And Matt Smith in the 10 closing in on what would be his 4th win of the season. Jason Doro runs in 2nd, but he's not close enough, I don't think, if Matt starts to sputter or if Matt blows a tire. Just in front of them, Jordan Roughton in the 18 appears to be out of fuel. He's slow on the back straightaway, and the leaders are going to safely work their way around him. He's to the inside at the entrance to turn 3. And coming out of 4 for the final time, around goes Matt Smith in the 10. The 08 car spins as well, but Jason Doro is going to win the Fire Key 200 at Gateway.
If I would have saved enough tire, I would have had it.
Let me know, guys. Who's our winner?
Who wins?
Wow.
Mucka, Flash, Oof, Robbie, Napa, me, Dust, Piercy, Bowman for both top 10.
Coming out of turn 4, the tire blew for Matt Smith in the 10. He spun, and it looked like the tire blew for Jason Doro as well. They both spun. Maybe the 08 was trying to avoid the spinning 10 car, and that's how he spun, but they both went around. And they wrecked coming across the line, and it was Jason Doro picking up his third win of his NASCAR MotorMaster Series career. In a wild, spinning fashion here at Gateway. Man, I can't believe what we just witnessed. These drivers were pushing their tires and the fuel tanks to the very limit. We saw drivers like Brett Baker, Josh Colm-Diaz surrender top 5 positions and come to pit road for service, knowing they couldn't make it the entire distance. And that's how close that these drivers were as well. I can't believe that. Matt Smith spins coming out of turn 4 on the final lap. Jason Doro does the same, and they wreck coming across the start-finish line. And when it was all said and done, it's Mucka from the Front Row Racing League, Jason Doro picking up the win. We're going to have post-race interviews coming up in just a matter of minutes. Stay with us, folks. Who finished third, guys?
If he would have been a little bit closer, he probably would have won that.
Yeah, no doubt. And the post-race interviews are going to begin here in a matter of minutes. We are waiting for our podium finishers from Gateway. We witnessed one heck of a race, 22 cars for round 20 of the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series season, hosted right here on NASCAR Heat 5. And it was one heck of a battle all the way to the very end. These drivers pushing their tires and their fuel tanks rather to the very limit. And we saw a heck of a finish at the very end. And we're going to begin the post-race show here and now, folks. The driver finishing in third, driver the number 20 Toyota Supra for Juicy J Motorsports, Jesse Carlson. He also parked it on the pole here for this race at Gateway, and he had a strong car. You had to go from the back to the front a couple of different times. We knew track position was going to be key, and we saw some wild restarts as well, 3 and 4 wide action, which just made it that much tougher to get back through the field. How was the car feeling out there for you, and where do you think that you stacked up in terms of the competition around you?
Well, the race was pretty good. Competition, oh yeah, I like that too. First stage, just chilling up in the front. It'd been nice if we went caution free. You could have had a good battle with NASCAR King, and yeah, second stage, and it was just, I don't know, second stage. Last stage, once that one caution came out, I started saving my tires in the back, and I apologize for causing that wreck. I hate using the bottom line, so that's why I buttered. If Mucka would have spun and collected people, I would have gotten to the line. But good job to everyone.
Were you saving fuel during that last 34, 35 lap stretch in the final stage, or were you going for it?
Oh, I was saving fuel and tires because I was like at 2% if I got to the line, but like I said, I could have gotten that win if the game didn't throw the yellow.
Well, good run out there at Gateway. It's a tough track, 1.25 miles, and it was very congested out there with 22 drivers as well. So congratulations on your podium finish and your playoff point.
Thank you.
And moving forward, the 2020 NASCAR Platinum Cup Series champion Matt Smith led a lot of laps in this one, the second most of anyone in this race actually, and it looked like he had it all in the bag, but coming out of 4, he spun, coming to take the checkered flag, and we've never seen quite, well, I guess we have, but it was another wild finish here for the 2021 NASCAR MotorMaster Series. And Matt, we wanted to ask you, we know second place is a very respectful place to finish in for one of these NASCAR races, but I know you really wanted that win. What happened coming out of turn 4 on the last lap?
You got an extra right rear tire I can have? I tried babying it so much. for the first half of the run, was trying to chase down NASCAR King there, and he was very fast. And honestly, I didn't even consider, tires becoming an issue. Usually, I drive a certain way to where I don't wear them like others, but it went to 0 off of 4 coming to the line, and said some words I can't repeat for the broadcast, but I saw as soon as Mucka got in the second, I was like, that guy just saved this whole time. And in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna quit FRR just because of this crap, But I'm just kidding. But he had a good run, solid run. Just a little bit short. I hate second, man. Hate second.
It's another playoff point for you. You had good track position all race long. It was clear that you were one of the top 3 or 4 cars all race long. Is that something to be proud of? Is that something that you can let sink in so this doesn't sting quite as bad?
I love the consistency. I feel like I tell you that every time we talk, but I think Gateway was probably the most equalized field, or the track that equalized the field the most that we've raced at so far.
Mm-hmm.
For the first, I don't know, 5-10 laps, it was you couldn't really go anywhere. There's a lot of guys who had a shot at leading the race and being at the front, and I'm more amazed that I got no damage for the whole race. Just kind of dodging cars here and there, and it was hard, trying to dodge guys who would get the wall and whatnot. But I'll take it. It's more points. This league rewards consistent finishes with playoff points and all that. So the playoff point helps for sure.
Congratulations on your second place finish, and good luck in the main event at Kentucky in just a matter of minutes.
All right, thank you. Good job, Mucka.
Thanks.
And that was 2020 Platinum Cup champ Matt Smith himself, driver of the 10, finishing in second here at Gateway. But now we have worked our way to victory lane. Here we find a familiar face, but it's been a little while. Finally, Jason Doro has found victory lane yet again here in a NASCAR MotorMaster Series race. First of all, congratulations. Secondly, is Matt right? Were you saving during that entire last 34-lap run? Because we saw you slowly working your way forward, but it looked like you were being very smooth and consistent as well, and not really poking your nose in unless you knew you were going to get the spot.
Yeah, Ty, thanks for, that was great. Great to get that monkey off my back again, get that third win of the season. Put the 08 Chevy Camaro in victory lane. Feels great. All apologies to Flash. This was Flash's race all day long. He had one of, if not the fastest cars on the track, in my opinion. When I seen him saving, and I knew I had a chance on catching him, and then I saw him going to 4 and slow way down, I was like, all right, I get this W. And then I ended up blowing a right rear tire just before the line, collected the field. But I hate to take a win like that, but I'll take it. I took my time through the field, didn't push the issue so I wouldn't burn up my right rear tire. That was my main concern.
It was another wild and memorable finish here in the NASCAR MotorMaster Series. We've seen a few this season like that, and a lot in the seasons past as well. What was going through your mind when you saw the 10 car spun? And also, let us know, we saw the 08 car go spinning as well. Did your tire blow as well? What happened to you?
Yeah, I seen the 10 car blow a right rear, and I was like, sigh of relief. I was like, all right. And then I kind of checked up because I saw him spin, which kind of made my right rear go at the same time, and I just happened to be farther towards that checkered line than he was.
It was a congested racetrack. Matt said it best. Everybody seemed very even and very competitive. 22 drivers started this race, and the top 15 or 18 were all on the same straightaway after 20 laps of green flag racing, it seemed. How does it feel to walk away with the win here at Gateway in such a competitive and evenly matched race with the drivers that were in it?
Oh, it was definitely a tough race out there. Did everything I could to be a top 5 car each stage. Like Matt had said earlier, it gave a chance for those guys to that you normally don't see up front, and see how they handle themselves. And everybody did a great job. Super impressed with the field.
3 wins now for you this season. What are your goals moving forward as the playoffs get closer and closer?
Points. That's my goal every week.
All right, you heard it from the man himself. Congratulations once again, Jason. You did a great job out there, and best of luck to you in your future Front Row Racing League races, another high-quality organization out there that everybody should check out on YouTube if they haven't yet.
Thanks, Ty.
Congratulations, buddy.
Thanks.
And we're going to throw it down to one of our in-race reporters from the event, Cameron Norton. Cameron, you drove a heck of a race out there. You were up there in the top 10 and the top 5 for most of this one. Sum up the race for us. What do you think of tonight's event at Gateway? How did it go for you, and how do you think that it went for most of the drivers?
Well, first of all, it was a very fast race car that we had. Great Timac Motorsports Chevrolet. The race was very fun, very eventful, very challenging, of course. NASCAR King, Flash, and those other guys that were up there battling for the win, they did a heck of a job, and we were just close, but I tried to save enough tire, and I blew it. But we're going to come back, and we're going to keep digging and fighting, and it's always a fun time racing with everybody here, and I enjoy it 100%.
Alex Tesdahl, another good finish for you as well. Not necessarily the one that you were hoping for, but still some good points for you, and you have those 2 wins, so you're locked into the playoffs. Sum up your night for us. How did the Gateway event go from your perspective?
The whole race, it was a struggle. The car handled terribly. But when it came down to the end, it was in the right place and was able to bring home a decent finish. And it seemed like a lot of people were struggling with tight race cars too. So
good stuff, good stuff. It did look like a very challenging event out there, and it was a action-packed race with a field full of talented drivers. And when it was all said and done, it was Jason Doro parking it in victory lane for the 3rd time in his NOSSCAR MotorMaster Series career. That '08 Chevy Camaro was cruising out there. Worked his way slowly up into the top 5 and was in a position to capitalize on drivers that needed to make an extra pit stop before we saw the checkered flag fly. I'd like to thank everybody for tuning in to the Fire Key 200 here at Gateway. Hope everybody enjoyed the first installment of tonight's MotorMaster Monday, the main event of the evening, coming up very shortly here at Kentucky Speedway. Look for it here on the NOSSCAR YouTube channel at about 9:30 to 9:35 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good night, everybody. Well, not quite yet, I guess. We'll see you shortly, everybody, and stay fast.